Hi, I'm Andrew Martin, and this is an introduction to, well, me. I'm Andrew Martin. This is my first semester in grad school. My BA is from Wichita State University in secondary English education. In the first 8 weeks of this semester, I completed 800 and 803 in the instructional technology program. I love technology and consider myself a bit of a nerd and a lifelong learner. But family comes first. And this is Arlo. He's 15 months old currently, and he loves climbing everything. We've had to turn our living room into a safe space for him, taking down curtains and taking out tables and chairs and lamps and all of these things he could terribly injure himself with. So that's kind of what we do, chase him around at home. I also work on my grad stuff and teach. So I have my hands full. Arlo and my wife Erin and I went to the pumpkin patch this weekend. So the first two pictures there are of our pumpkin patch excursion to Shocky's Pumpkin Patch here in Lawrence, Kansas. And that's a picture from Arlo's 1 year photo shoot over there on the right with my wife Erin and I. And we both like Chuck's Converse All Stars, so all three of us are wearing those. So Arlo is definitely the light of our lives. I grew up in Wichita, Kansas, and graduated from East High School, the largest high school in Kansas, in 1991. In fact, my high school class was about 720 students, and I have a nice old school rolled up photograph of all of us, and we can't identify who any of us are anymore. Except that one of my friend's mothers had him write his friends' names above all of our heads, and so we cannot kind of identify each other that way back in high school. I did not go to college until I was in my 30s. I instead got a technical degree in auto mechanics and worked at several different dealerships as a technician and service manager. Eventually, I really just got burned out. I was tired of making money when I could make a difference and seeing kids come out of school at that point with some of the same stories I had about teachers who were ineffectual or didn't care and things like that. And I thought back to my career and thought, well, I definitely could do better than those guys. So went into teaching. I'm also a fourth generation Kansas teacher. My great-grandmother taught around Manhattan, Kansas, and my mom and my grandmother taught in Wichita. My uncle was a superintendent, and so teaching should have been my first choice, but I got there anyway, so not a big deal. As far as teaching goes, I teach English and AVID at Lawrence Free State High School here in Lawrence, Kansas. I've been teaching here for 6 years. And I taught in Wichita for 4 years. And while I was going to school, I was a paraeducator. I love AVID, and I have been Free State's AVID site coordinator for the past 3 years. I have a class of juniors right now that I'm really excited to see graduate next year, and we're working on all kinds of college prep things. Mostly we're searching for the colleges that they want to go to, they want to attend, and figuring out what that process is going to look like. I love technology. I'm into all kinds of technology, and I definitely feel like technology makes learning more effective and engaging for my students. I know some teachers hate technology, and that's okay, but I can't tell you how much more I love learning and teaching because of technology. I'm able to engage my students with tech, and it leads to a deeper understanding of the content or concepts that I'm trying to teach. They're able to do extension assignments that they wouldn't have been able to do without a laptop. I mostly own Apple products. My school district went one-to-one with MacBook Air laptops about 4 years ago. I have an iMac at home. We have iPhone smartphones. So technology is just kind of integral to our lives. We have Apple TV at home. I also have Apple TV here at school. And here at school, we have smart TVs also in all of our classrooms. Just got those for this year. And quite a few apps that our districts pay for that are really beneficial to our students. Some interesting facts about me. I probably over communicate with people, which probably means this video is running a little in excess of probably 5 minutes or so. I'm a talker, and that can turn some people off, but they have to deal with it, and I have to deal with it. My wife and I have known each other since high school, although we didn't date in high school. We reconnected later in life. I overuse hyperbole, and I can be a bit dramatic at times, but I think that a lot of teachers can do that. I have a sister and a brother, but I was adopted from birth. My birth certificate was changed from Irish and Native to Caucasian and Spanish by the state of Kansas before my adoption. And according to the Kansas Children's Service League, the agency I was adopted through, this made me more adoptable. But in reality, after doing a whole bunch of research, I'm quarter Osage and my father was half Osage. And my mom was actually from Ireland and went to high school in Wichita. And going back to the car piece, I've owned quite a few cool cars, including a 69 Mach 1, which I sold to buy my first home, a 64.5 Barracuda, which belonged to my parents, a 65 Chevy C10 pickup, a 1970 Pontiac Firebird, and a 69 VW Super Beetle, none of which I own any longer. Money and time and things like that just became more important. Finally, if you have any questions about me, please feel free to reach out. I'm super excited to meet you. I'm always eager to share any little thing that I've learned or heard about, read about, tried out in my classroom, found things from colleagues, all that kind of stuff. I'm ready to share if you think it'll be beneficial for you. And have a great rest of the semester. Thanks so much. Talk soon. Bye-bye.